Hi, welcome back to the pages of the nightmare. Today, I'll tell you 10 curiosities, one for each issue, from Dylan Dog numbers 1 to 10. Let's begin. Number 1. It's well known that Dawn of the Living Dead draws inspiration from George Romero's 1968 film Night of the Living Dead. However, some fans and critics have suggested that Angelo Stano may also have taken cues from Italian horror cinema of the 70s, such as Lucio Fulci's Zombie, 1979, and Dario Argento's Suspiria, 1977, combining splatter realism with dark, dreamlike atmospheres. The result is a hybrid style. The zombies appear more realistic in both form and movement, while the artwork conveys a haunting, surreal mood that recalls Italian horror cinema, yet remains distinctly original. Number 2. According to some collectors, on page 52 Dylan and Jane are seen watching Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage in a movie theater. Though never officially confirmed by the authors or Bonelli, if true it would be a clever Easter egg. A horror film within a horror comic, playing with the perception of reality, and foreshadowing the tension of the story. Number 3. On Claudio Villa's original cover, Dylan wears a white shirt, a rare and easily recognizable detail. The color was corrected only in the book edition, while all standard reprints keep it white. In the same cover, the clouds pass behind the moon. It's unclear whether this was a graphic oversight, or a deliberate stylistic choice. But it remains a distinctive and curious element that makes the cover memorable for fans and collectors. Number 4. The building in The Phantom of Anna Never, with its eerie corridors and rooms, serves as the setting for Dylan Dog's investigation. Some of these interiors resemble the sets of Italian horror films from the 70s, particularly Dario Argento's Deep Red. The connection is fan speculation, without any official confirmation from Stano or Sclavi. Number 5. The Killers inspired a video game of the same name in 1992, released for Amiga, Commodore 64, and MS-DOS. The game recreates the atmosphere of the comic. Dylan Dog investigates a series of mass murders across the city, facing deranged characters and unpredictable situations. Fans have noted several visual parallels to the comic: haunted expressions, devastated cityscapes, and iconic scene details, serving as subtle digital Easter eggs. Number 6. You may not have noticed that, as in the cover of the third issue, Dylan Dog also appears with a white shirt in the first print of The Beauty of the Devil. In later reprints, the shirt remains white in every format except the book edition, where it was corrected to red. This small visual detail has become a distinctive curiosity for collectors and longtime fans. Number 7. The title The Twilight Zone immediately calls to mind the famous TV series of the same name. Many fans have noticed striking similarities. The village of Inverurie seems suspended in time, shrouded in fog and mystery, where the laws of reality appear to bend. Every page builds suspense, twists, and that peculiar sense of eerie wonder typical of the show. Though never officially confirmed, this makes the issue feel like a subtle homage to surreal storytelling. Number 8. In The Return of the Monster, Tiziano Sclavi introduces Leonora Steele, a blind girl whose disability becomes not a weakness, but an alternate lens on reality. Through her perspective, fear and tension take on a more intimate and emotional tone. This narrative choice impressed critics and readers alike, and is often cited in analyses of how Dylan Dog addresses sensitive themes such as fragility, perception, and difference within a horror context. Number 9. In this issue, Dylan Dog does not act as the traditional hero who resolves everything. Instead, he becomes a helpless witness to events spiraling beyond his control. This approach reveals a more vulnerable and human side of the character, emphasizing the theme of the unknown and the fragility of humankind when faced with forces that defy logic. Number 10. The title and concept of mirrors explicitly reference Through the Looking Glass, 1871, by Lewis Carroll, the sequel to Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. In Carroll's work, the mirror is not just an object, it's a gateway to an inverted world governed by its own rules and paradoxes. Dylan Dog adopts this idea. Mirrors become portals between reality and the supernatural, where time, space, and causality are distorted. Bonus. The third issue, Full Moon Nights, also inspired a video game of the same name. Released in 1988 for the Commodore 64, it was the first, and perhaps most nostalgic, video game adaptation of Dylan Dog. What makes it truly special is how it blends comic art and interactive gameplay in an era when consoles were still in their infancy, using real panels from the original comic within a text-based adventure. Players take on the role of Dylan, exploring branching storylines in a graphic novel style, moving through an eerie story of investigation, werewolves, and dark spirits. we've explored one curiosity for each issue from 1 to 10. In the next episode, we'll continue with 10 more, from issues 11 to 20. The nightmare isn't over yet. See you in the next episode.